Homework, homework, homework. It's one of the most challenging interactions that happens in the home because parents struggle so much with getting their child motivated around homework and getting homework done. Not only just checking off the box, but doing homework to the best of your child's ability. That can create quite a challenge and power struggle in the home. The answer to this question can be complex, so bear with me, because each child is different and has different learning styles. So it's better, I think, for you to tackle this issue not from your child's perspective, but what happens to you as the parent when your child begins to resist getting work done. I'd like to approach this question maybe from a different angle. Rather than focusing on the child's behavior in and around homework, let's talk about how it makes you feel as the parent. Because the truth of the matter is, there's nothing like how our child is performing or behaving that can really trigger our own inner critics, and it sets them right on fire. I'd love to talk about your perspective. I'd love to talk about how this situation and power struggle makes you feel as a parent. Let's start with what happens inside of you. What do you feel when your child starts to resist doing homework, whether they create excuses for not getting it done, distractions, or out and out lie? What happens to you? Do you start to feel anxious? Do you start to feel angry? Do you start to feel hard done by? Do you start to feel like they don't care about you or respect you? What happens there? So that's the first place to dive into the conversation, because we need to know what it is about the homework and our child's behavior that it triggers us at such a deep, deep level. Let's look at your childhood story around homework, because that's really a good place to start. Were you the type of child that had constant monitoring and very little leash, so to speak, and that's how your parents did it? Or maybe you were the type of child that had no real parental support in and around homework, so you want to be there for your child in this really wonderful supportive manner because you never had that opportunity and you want to create that for your child or children. There's a couple of different perspectives from each experience that come into homework. So first of all, figure out which one you are. Were you the one that was supervised constantly, or maybe you were the one that was left on, I'll use the pronoun her, on her own to do it all by herself? I feel like it's an important acknowledgement to recognize your relationship just around the idea of homework, that it may not necessarily be tied to your child at all. It's just your perception of what that task means to you. And then the next question is, are you taking on your child's responsibility as your own responsibility? Now, do you look at the homework when the teacher assigns it and you see the Google Classroom like list come out every day? Do you go through it and check it off? Or do you see the reminder that, oh, there's homework today? And do you go and ask your child, how's it looking on your homework front? Which one are you? It's another question for you to be really honest with yourself about. Do you try to take ownership of your child's homework, or are you acting as the guide? The reason I decided that maybe we should have this conversation about homework from your perspective, not your child's perspective, is to shed some light on what's really happening, because we sometimes forget that in our deep, deep desire to be wonderful parents to our children, we forget that they need to have opportunities to learn. They need to have opportunities to fall, not necessarily fail. They might fail too, but when they fall or fail, you know what they also need? Opportunities to practice getting back up again all on their own. The truth of the matter is you've already done grade 6 homework or grade 7 homework or grade 10 homework. You've already done all that. This is your child's chance to learn these little life skills to help them in their future adulthood. So it's not your responsibility to, supervise them so intensely in and around homework time. It's your job to let go of your ego, not your ego, and back up so you can be the supporter, not the driver when it comes to homework. And there's a really great quote that I'd like to share with you that might help you out in this regard. It's a powerful message, which you might even want to write down somewhere, and it goes something like this. And I might not get it word for word, but like this. The greatest teachers in the world show you where to look, but not what to see. Your job as a parent is to show your child, where to look, but not how to do the homework. Your child can do those problems on his own or on her own. They might have questions, but the biggest and the most important aspect of homework and your relationship to them while they're doing homework is this. Really, when you learn to trust your child to do their homework, you're really learning to get comfortable trusting yourself as a parent. You see, we've all had difficult experiences in our lives, and we don't want our children to suffer in the ways that we did. So we feel like if we get in there, roll up our sleeves, help them with their homework, they're going to be more secure, they're going to be safer, and maybe they won't fall as hard as you fell. But I promise you, if you learn to trust your ability as a parent to act as a guide, not the driver, you will see. You actually already know the way. The next big plus about acting as a guide during homework time and building trust with your child through the concept of homework is that as your child gets older, guess what they're going to learn how to do just through this simple exercise here with homework is when they're struggling or maybe they've made some bad decisions, they're going to feel comfortable coming to you and asking you for help because they have learned that you trust them. They have learned that their relationship with you isn't dependent on a mark on a piece of paper. It's all about your deep and unconditional love for them. And you're always going to be there for them. And it sounds ridiculous in some ways that homework can get you there, but homework can get you there. Thanks for watching. You can expect videos every Friday with me, Ranbir Puar, all about parenting kids and family, developing growth, connection, communication, and resilience under your roof. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified. You can also follow me on social media for more content and for us to stay connected. All the links are available in my profile. You can also find other resources for parents and kids if you head to my online school. The link is available in the description, or just go to innerchampion.me.